Are you ready? Because they weren't. The people of Texas. February 2021. A winter storm plunged the state into chaos. Power grids failed. Homes turned into ice boxes. Pipes burst. Lives were lost. But was this just a freak of nature? A confluence of unfortunate events? Or was it something more sinister? We're the Anomaly Ledger, and tonight we crack open a case file that should terrify you. Because what happened in Texas could happen to you. And the warning signs are flashing everywhere. This isn't just about the weather. It's about infrastructure, control, and a deliberate vulnerability that's woven into the very fabric of our society. Prepare to be exposed. The truth is out there, and we're about to drag it into the light. The official narrative paints a picture of unprecedented cold, a once-in-a-century event that overwhelmed the system. But scratch beneath the surface, and the story changes. Texas's power grid, managed by ERCOT, the Electric Reliability Council of Texas, operates largely independently from the rest of the country. This deregulation, touted as a benefit for consumers, also shields them from federal oversight and critical resilience standards. Remember that word. Resilience. Key power sources, particularly natural gas facilities, were not adequately winterized. Frozen pipes, equipment malfunctions, preventable failures cascaded, taking down generators and pipelines across the state. And get this. Multiple warnings had been issued about winterization shortcomings years before the freeze hit. Ignored warnings, suppressed reports. Doesn't that raise an alarm for you? Here's where things get darker. The rolling blackouts implemented by ERCOT weren't just about preventing total grid collapse. Critics claim they were strategically employed to protect critical infrastructure, oil and gas facilities, while leaving residential areas in the dark. The price of electricity in Texas skyrocketed, hitting the legal price cap of $9,000 per megawatt hour. Companies tied to the energy sector made billions in profit. Coincidence? Or calculated manipulation? Look closer at the players involved. Political donors, energy executives, the same names keep popping up, weaving a web of influence and control. These blackouts didn't affect everyone equally. Low-income communities and minority neighborhoods bore the brunt of the outages and suffered disproportionately. Were they deliberately targeted? Ask yourself that question when your power goes out. The data paints a damning picture. Analysis shows that natural gas supply failures were a primary driver of the crisis, not just the extreme cold. But why weren't these facilities properly winterized? Lack of regulatory enforcement, according to some. A prioritization of profit over safety, according to others. But I see a different pattern. A deliberate weakening of the grid, creating vulnerabilities that could be exploited. And consider the implications. A coordinated cyber attack on a poorly protected energy infrastructure. A physical assault on key facilities. A cascading failure triggered by something far more than a cold snap. Suddenly, the Texas freeze doesn't seem so isolated. It becomes a blueprint, a trial run for something bigger, more widespread, more devastating. This is about far more than keeping the lights on. This is about control. Remember Operation Aurora? Back in 2007. A cybersecurity exercise demonstrated how a remote cyber attack could overload and destroy critical grid equipment. Imagine that scenario played out across multiple states. Simultaneous attacks targeting power stations, gas pipelines, and substations. The result? A national grid failure lasting weeks, perhaps months. Chaos, riots, collapse. Is this paranoia or prudence? Look at the exposed vulnerabilities, the underfunded infrastructure, the compromised regulatory bodies, the increasing frequency of extreme weather events. It's not a question of if it will happen again, but when. And who benefits from this systemic fragility? The answer, as always, lies in following the money and following the power.
The Energy Reliability Council of Texas deeply regrets the hardship endured by Texans during the February 2021 winter storm. Comprehensive reviews and upgrades have been implemented to enhance the resilience of the Texas power grid. These measures address identified vulnerabilities and ensure compliance with enhanced winterization standards. The security and stability of the grid remain our top priority. Any claim of malevolent agency is baseless. We are dedicated to a reliable power grid that powers economic growth and enables Texas to remain competitive on a global scale.
Security and stability. Sounds good on paper, doesn't it? But can we trust the official story? Or are we being lulled into a false sense of security, while the real threat grows stronger, waiting in the shadows? What really happened in Texas, and are you next? Join the Anomaly Ledger Inner Circle for exclusive investigations, behind-the-scenes access, and tools you need to survive. Don't be a victim, be prepared, and never, ever stop asking questions.